What's going on, you guys? Bobby O'Brien here. I got my client Steve here with me today, one of the clients in the health optimization program who lost almost 30 pounds within a span of 9 to 10 weeks. It's roughly been 2.5 months since we've been working together. He started at around 244 and now he's hanging around 218. Absolutely unreal. And of course, Steve, I'll let you dive into it as well. But in his first 11 days joining the program, he lost roughly roughly 14 pounds. Went from 244 to 230 and even texted me, he couldn't even believe the number on the scale when he saw it. So, welcome Steve. Super happy to have you on the channel and super excited to dive into your story.
Yep, glad to be here.
Awesome. Do you mind giving us a rundown on who you are and what you do and what led to us connecting?
Sure. I'm someone in my late 40s. I'm an IT professional who, since COVID, has worked from home, but in either case, I sit at a desk 40 to 50 hours a week. Go to the gym in the evening. Sometimes when you're sitting all day, it's tough to get motivated. And just looking for a way to break through. I've been plateaued for a long, long, long time, and I've been following various fitness people on Instagram, and I connected with Bobby, and we got to talking about his program, and it piqued my interest.
Awesome. And then what was your situation like with your health and weight before we started working together, like a few years before?
Yeah, I had lost a lot of weight years ago, but then kind of seesawed back and forth, following conventional tips like counting calories and never really seeing results, never progressing with my workouts at the gym. Um, kind of coasting along, but not really excelling or, growing in any particular way. So,
Yeah, I also know you mentioned in the past that you worked with a in-person trainer and that you guys were counting calories and just following a method that wasn't sustainable. Do you mind
mm,
giving us like a walkthrough on how that went and what your thoughts were on that?
sure. So counting calories is frustrating. It's really restrictive on how you eat because it's hard to compose it. It's hard to get track of macros, especially when you're going out to restaurants. You really never know everything that's in there. And then sometimes you hit your calorie deficit and the scale still doesn't move. With respect to trainers, occasionally there would be like individual training sessions that were good, but you might get a different person every week, and they don't focus on the whole person with respect to full accountability, measurements, diets, macros, or just any one-off questions you have. So that's kind of been my experience with those corporate chain type gyms. So
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that we were talking about whenever we first connected was that the accountability would kind of go out the door with you, like with an in-person training session, right? Because you do get a really good workout in, even though it may be a different trainer sometimes, but you don't have that same level of accountability once you actually leave the gym with your diet, with all
right,
the other temptations that you run into. So,
absolutely.
yeah. So, what were some of the things that you wanted to do at the time before you joined the program, but you just weren't able to do it?
Yeah, I wanted to get excited about being in the gym again. I wanted to feel like I was progressing towards something. I wanted to feel challenged. And, it goes without saying, I wanted to see the number on the scale move, but not just that. I wanted to see the person in the mirror change, both body and mind. And so I was looking for, again, like I said before, the whole person kind of change. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely think it's safe to say that pretty much everything that you just mentioned there, about like 2.5 months in, is pretty much been accomplished at this point, which is incredible. So,
absolutely.
what sort of doubts and fears did you have like going into this program that ended up just making you say yes anyway?
Yeah. So the idea that you have to count calories and always be in a caloric deficit, and there's variations on this theme, but most trainers, most gyms, most fitness personnel will give you some version of this. So the concept that you don't have to do this if you tailor your diet a certain way, like it goes against every conventional wisdom, right? And but at the same time, I was like, I got to try something different. It's the old saying, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And I took a chance on myself and bet on myself, and couldn't be more pleased with the results.
That's awesome, man. That's beautiful. And like, what were your thoughts like before you joined, like when you first signed up, like the whole concept of a hormonal based approach? Like, were you having like any doubts, or did you feel like at one point it wouldn't work for you? Or was there anything coming up for you that possibly made you think that wouldn't work?
yeah, again, as I mentioned before, it goes against the conventional wisdom. And certainly if this was the science guy in me says like, well, I would have heard of this before. Um, so I was like, can this really be true? I started looking at some of your testimonials and some of the pictures and some of your videos, and seemed to make a lot of sense to me. And I thought it was worth diving in. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's good you it was certainly good you took a chance on it. So what are you able to do now that you weren't able to do before, now that you've lost almost 30 pounds within a span of 2.5 months with all the other benefits that have come with it?
yeah, I'm able to get that kind of excited energy to go work out again. With following your plan and your help in the background. Like it's one thing to go in and maintain, but I think, reaching towards a goal in anything in life is always important. And it's helped me to get excited and, mentally and physically to go in there again. As far as specific exercises, I can do things and reach heights that I hadn't reached before. And, I'm a believer. So
That's awesome. And I know you have a wedding coming up, which I'm super, super excited about. Congratulations, by the way. Like, how has that had an impact on you? Like, your health just being where it is right now in comparison to where it was before, being at a weight that you really, really like. Like, how has that had an impact on your environment and other people around you?
yeah, the fiance notices for sure. It's gratifying, certainly you do health stuff for yourself, but it's gratifying when other people notice your efforts. As far as the wedding goes, I mean, there's innumerable sets of eyes on you for that day. And I wanted to present well, and this has been on my mind for some time. Like, what if I look like this guy and what are they going to think? And it's a once in a lifetime thing. So it's really helped me get, not that I wasn't excited for it anyway, but it really helped me be, more excited about it. So,
That's awesome. And I know I thought this was really, really funny whenever you first messaged me within the first week or so. When you first saw the number on the scale actually turn to 231 after roughly 9 days. Like,
right.
what was going through your mind whenever you saw that? Because I know you said that you weighed yourself like 4 times and just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So, and I know the numbers are legit. I had made a trip to my doctor right at the beginning of the program that had me at about 244, 245. And I thought my scale at home was broken. Um, but then I went to the one at the gym and it was the same. And I weighed myself again and the next day. And I was like, this can't be real. Like, because conventional wisdom, going back to that again, says, hey, if you do these right things, you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And losing that much in what was it, 12 days, 10 days, 9 days? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that happening in my life. So it's amazing. And it just really gave me good energy. So,
yeah. And I'm just super thankful too to work with somebody like you that is just super committed, like a total action taker. Of
mhm.
course, you have to deal with times where, a client will run into certain temptations. We have to get back on the horse. But you, Steve, like you were just, like I said, like a total action taker. Like anything that I told you to do, you would just do it and you trusted in the process and you're super open to coaching.
Mhm.
And that's why you honestly, of course, like you mentioned, there's a lot of testimonials, but you're probably one of the best, not only because you had a really good method in front of you, but you just took so much action, had so much trust within me. So I really appreciate you for that.
You bet.
So,
It was worth it. So.
yeah. And what would you tell somebody right now who's like on the fence or unsure about investing in themselves to see results, even though they've been trying to see weight loss results and trying to lose overall fat for months, if not years?
So, again, if it seems like it goes against the grain, don't be dissuaded by that. It seems like it's too good to be true, but it absolutely worked for me and other people on his channel. And as far as investing in yourself, I think health and well-being is something you can't get back. And I think it's absolutely worth the financial investment. It's worth the time. It's worth the effort. So,
It's awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate your rundown on your story and you telling all of us all about it and showing people that, you don't necessarily have to count or restrict calories. Like if you address the root cause of weight gain like you did and you take action with a plan that works, that's also enjoyable. You get an amazing result like what you saw. We still got
mm,
a little bit of work to do, of course. We're still not even done working with each other yet.
yeah.
But the fact that you start at 244 and you're now 218 in a span of 9 to 10 weeks is absolutely
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I'm just super, super proud of you, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And I hope we can keep working together and see more amazing results.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Thank you guys for watching. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you lose weight consistently each and every month and lose your gut for good and gain some insane amount of muscle and just fully optimize your health to its greatest extent, feel free to click the link on the top of the video description to speak with me personally. And I will see you in the next video.